Basically, I'll talk about this webinar series. So I'll probably people who are new, I'll just introduce myself. I'm Harshit Gupta. I am the co-founder of NSDM, and I'm hosting this webinar series called Growth Marketing Webinar Series, wherein we call in people, industry experts, and they talk about particular subject. So this is a series which is absolutely free. Last time we kind of did a webinar on how to become a growth hacker. So this is not a typical or a generic digital marketing webinar series wherein I'll call some, a random blogger or random content creator or a random digital marketer who's going to speak about any random digital marketing topic, right? This series is I want to kind of develop this series in a very different way. I want only growth marketers speaking about actionable tactics, growth marketing tactics in this, webinar. So today, basically, I have invited Prathamesh. Prathamesh is one of the really amazing growth marketers that I know. He's the he's the founder of Katha, which is a growth marketing agency. He's a behavioral strategist. Has a great knack on content. He's an award-winning filmmaker, right? And he's been working with high growth startups. So he holds a great, experience when you talk about content psychology and the behavioral economics aspect. He is also the co-founder of a side project. He started a side project by the name of copatents.com, right? That's his project. That's the website. You guys should check out the website, wherein he's kind of listed around 100 of cognitive biases. That's behavioral concepts that you need to know as a marketer that you can use in your marketing campaigns. So yeah, I hope everybody is excited for this webinar, and this is going to be an actionable webinar wherein Prathamesh is going to share industry frameworks and stuff that you can actually go out and implement. And that's what we believe in. We don't believe in generic knowledge, right? So I hope everybody is excited. I want everybody to kind of type in yes if you're excited for this webinar. Awesome.
Awesome.
All right, over to you, Prathamesh. I think you can take it.
Yeah. Thank you, Harshit. So I've known Harshit for a long while now, and we have been talking a lot around growth marketing. And I really love the kind of work you guys are doing at NSDM. So cheers to you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll share my screen, and while you're looking at the screen, I'll introduce myself, and I'll also start talking about what you're going to learn today. But before that, I'll just give you a basic introduction. I come from a village called as Utli Kanchan. If some of you guys know that, I'm not sure. And I came to Pune for higher studies, and since then I have been in Pune. And I have been selling since I was at the age of 5, because we had a shop and we used to sell cosmetics and general store kind of shop. So we used to sell that kind of stuff. So for the first let's say 16 years of my life, I have sold over the counter in our shop. And then when I shifted to Pune, the bug of selling did not go. But apparently I also had a creative side which I started exploring, and that's how I got into design and filmmaking to begin with. And so that was pretty good. I built a production house, and eventually somehow, given that I already had that bug for selling, I got into marketing. And from marketing I got into growth marketing. I generally don't like calling it growth hacking, because it is very misunderstood term. You can't, it's a totally different topic. We can talk about it some other time. But yeah, I got into growth marketing. I have been helping and advising companies in building growth strategies. Some of you here have already started working with me. So You guys probably know a little bit about my approach, but in growth marketing, there are two types of approach. One is the technological approach, and the other is the psychological approach. Both are kind of interdependent on each other, to be honest. But it's about how you think about marketing that matters. The way I think about marketing is from a extremely psychological perspective, because if I am able to kind of trigger you, or if I am able to uh, put a finger on something that you really care about, that is much easier for me to sell than work on the most amazing remarketing campaigns and the most amazing growth hacks. So that is what we are going to talk about today. We are going to focus a lot about lot upon psychology of things, psychology of how people, why people do what they do. Uh, of course, it's hardly a 1 hour webinar, so my learnings from the last 1 year in not 1 year, sorry, 10 years in storytelling and selling cannot be distilled into 1 hour. But what I'll be sharing with you is the most fundamental framework or a method that it's just a different way of thinking. That if you are able to think from that perspective, uh, creating content will become a piece of cake for you. And I have broken it down into a lot of steps. It's extremely common sense, and but that's not very common. Common sense, I don't find it very common nowadays, especially where more and more advanced technologies are coming in marketing, and we are forgetting about the psychological part in marketing, which is actually more important than the technology part. So I'll share my screen with you guys. I hope you can see it. Harshad, can you see the screen?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So there are, I hope you can see the screen, because there are a lot of Zoom related, 2-3 Zoom related floating.
Can you guys see the screen?
Okay, cool. Awesome. So let's begin. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I have 10 plus years of experience with brands like Venky's, Essilor, TEDx, Mahindra Life Spaces. Actually, this slide is pretty old, so we can add a few more brands here, but Atlas Copco and a bunch of more. Then I have advised education companies and growth through MIT's EduBuild Incubator. I have been multiple national and international award-winning filmmaker. So a few of the awards that we won are Dada Saib Phalke Film Festival Award and Mexico's Golden Palm Award, which is kind of little prestigious. I've helped the government of India to scale their training efforts through video-based training, which has resulted in training 19,000 construction workers in 3 years. And we have worked in technology, education, real estate, manufacturing, even political projects. Though we have stopped taking up political projects now, but we have worked extensively in that area as well. So a little bit of warning. The techniques that you will learn here in this webinar are very simple, but very powerful. And it might push you as a marketer when you are desperate to manipulate your customers if you do it in the wrong way. But I just request you that don't do that, because it will backfire for sure. If something is not helping your, if a product is not helping your customers, don't sell it. Just understand that as a marketer, you have a responsibility as much as a product designer or as much as anybody else in the company. So make sure you do not manipulate people, and that's very important. Otherwise, if it backfires, you cannot earn the reputation again. So please understand that. A lot of, like I said, stuff is common sense here, but when the execution begins, common sense does not remain very common. So what do I mean by common sense? You will understand as we go forward. So I've used the words like audience, customers, users interchangeably. So just understand it's the same thing. I'll be using the projects that you submitted as examples to explain the point. So I don't have a lot, I have not added a lot of actual examples because it tends to be very nice and you feel really good that, oh wow, this ad worked because of this reason. But if you have been into marketing for more than 10 years, you know that the market always surprises you. So it is very easy to explain what works after it has worked, but it's not easy to explain if something is going to work before it is going to work. So I'm going to avoid showing you examples to avoid blocking your mind with something that people have already done. So I'm going to take something that you have already given me. Like I also have a list of them, but uh, I'll show you what I'm going to talk about with examples, but something that is concerning with what you are already trying to create as content. Yeah, this is a short 1 hour webinar. So the best I can go and take you through is the fundamentals of the framework that I have created and developed over the last 10 years of my work and practice. And at the end of this webinar, you will learn how to get inside your customer's mind uh, and be present in front of them exactly when you need them and where you need them. I mean, that's the basics of any marketing, right? If you are there in front of people when they need you, where they need you, you get a sale, and it's as simple as that. And if you follow the 6-step process that I'm going to show and also use the 6 key questions to analyze your content, then you will keep on converting your customers throughout your marketing career. So that is a guarantee, but only if you understand these concepts very well. Like I said, they sound very sound very normal. They sound like it is common sense, but people just don't slow down and apply it. So that is what you will learn. Things you will not learn in this webinar is anything technical, like how to set up a landing page, how to set up WordPress, how to do any kind of technical stuff. It is purely about creating content. It's about creating. It's also not about how to run ads, how to distribute content, etc. So it's not about publishing anything here. It is about creating, and that's where it ends. Because the distribution part by itself is a pretty huge area which deserves a different webinar. Yeah, so content projects that you want to execute, some of you have submitted the content type you are trying to create and the niche for which you're going to create. So I'll just go through this once. So Jyoti wants to create blogs for cooperative and companies. Excuse me. Prashant wants to create landing pages for catering services. Manish, landing pages, academic services. By academic services, I'm not sure what exactly do you mean. So if there is something more specific, you can add in comments. That will be great, Manish. Murtaza, social content for mobile accessories. Aditya, landing page for real estate and IT. Yash for blogs and landing pages. For yoga classes. And Mohammed for social content for hardware and tools. It's a B2B setup. Omkar, social content, vegetable market. Now, again, vegetable market, if Omkar, if you could add something specific about what you mean by vegetable market. Is it an online store like Big Basket, or is it an offline vegetable market for which you want to promote and you want to get people there? Sushil wants to create landing pages for t-shirt businesses, t-shirt business and online mobile repairing course. Hussain wants to create landing page for sports footwear. Shamak wants to create blogs for finance, and Purva wants to create landing pages for hospitality. So Purva, even in hospitality, are you talking about hotels? Are you talking about travel and tourism? Exactly, can you tell me more specifically in the comments what exactly it is? I'll check it out later. Yeah. So Abraham Lincoln said, give me an hour to chop a tree and I will spend the first 45 minutes sharpening the axe. And that is what you should be doing whenever you come up with a marketing project. A lot of people, it is pretty automatic. It is very automatic for a marketer. As soon as you get a project, you start thinking, "मैं ad ये बनाऊंगा, I'll run a paid campaign, I'll run an influencer marketing campaign, etc., etc." It is like once I give you an axe, you immediately start hitting the tree and cutting the tree. But that's a very wrong way. You have to sharpen the axe. And what does it mean if, let's say, Abraham Lincoln was a marketer? This is what he would say: give me an hour to write content, and I will spend the first 45 minutes understanding the audience. So the time you spend in understanding your audience is like sharpening your axe. The more you understand your audience, the easier it will be for you to sell. And what we are going to learn here is how to understand your audience. If I had put the name in the webinar, if the title of the webinar was how to understand your audience, that would be much more accurate, but none of you would have signed up. So we had to mislead you a little bit. But if you cannot understand your audience, you don't know what you're talking about, and then nothing will help you sell. Somebody raised a hand. Who did?
I think you can go ahead, Prathamesh. We'll take the Q&A at the end, guys.
Yeah. Guys, if you just take notes with your questions, because this is kind of a little long presentation. So once we are done, and I've designed this presentation in a way that a lot of your questions which arise will eventually be answered. And even if it does not get answered, I'll be happy to answer them at the end. So let's begin with, what do you mean by how to create content that converts? Okay. So first is how to create. What does it mean? How to create means we are going to talk about a step-by-step process that is tried and tested through my 10 years of career in storytelling and selling. And in that, you have to remember why the step-by-step process is important, because it's the golden rule of execution, which is if you repeat the same actions again and again, you will get the similar results. That means if you do the right actions, you will keep getting the right results. But if you do the wrong actions, you'll keep getting the wrong results. What I'll be showing is there are infinite number of ways things could go wrong, but there are very finite number of ways you can do the things in the right way. And we will be focusing on those right ways to do things. The second is content. What do I mean by content? Let's be very clear when I say content. At its very broad level, it is any information that you consume through your five senses. Okay, whatever you touch, taste, smell, see, hear is content. Anything that you consume. It could be image, text, video, audio, music, physical spaces, packaging, food, anything. Right. For example, if you are passing by a chips shop and you get the smell of the tasty food in there, then that's a content that is pushing you to. And if you're hungry, probably you are going to go in there. Most of the very good shops, food joints use this technique, which is making sure that the smell goes out there, so that when somebody is passing by, they have the smell and then they come in. So that is content again. Like look at content from its very broad sense. And but when it comes to digital marketing, we will be only focusing on these images, text, video, audio, music kind of stuff. Okay. And what do I mean by converts? So any piece of content that motivates your user to take a desired action is a content that is created to convert. And for example, if a piece of content gets you to click, like, share, link, comment, read, scroll, purchase, or any other action that you want them to take, that means it is optimized for converting. Okay. And taking that desired action means conversion. Conversion does not only mean that somebody buys something from you and your customer is converted. Your conversion happens through many steps. And if you break it down in those actions or steps, it is easier to design your funnel. It is easier to create your strategy and execute it in a very simple, non-complicated, easy way. Okay? But what the hell is desired action? Okay. this is a very important concept in the behavioral design. And most of us in marketing generally don't think about it, right? It simply means that any action that takes your audience from point A to point B is called as a desired action. So I'm at point A, I want to reach point B, but to do that, I need to take an action, right? So it could be, I'll explain this more. We are going to get into more details of this concept, but the action could be as simple as sign up, purchase, share, comment, like, subscribe, follow, anything. I mean, it could go beyond these actions as well. So yeah, but the way you can get your audience to take an action is creating a trigger or a nudge. So by trigger, so let's kind of understand this. Anything that what's a trigger? I'm sure you might have heard this word as trigger, like this person triggers me, or you need to create a trigger that makes you do something. Your notifications on the phone is a trigger or a nudge. In the similar way, your ad copies, landing page, blogs, video content, or anything else that you create is actually a trigger or a nudge. So I generally prefer calling it designing triggers or nudges instead of calling it creating content. But at the end of the day, when it comes to digital marketing, it is content. So you can interchangeably use trigger with content or content with trigger. But what you're trying to do is create a trigger that will push me to take an action. So if I say, let's uh, use this lead magnet or PDF checklist on how to design your digital marketing strategy. And the ad copy says that, and that's a first trigger. I click on it and you go to the landing page. On the landing page, I say, this is the strategy that Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos have used for uh, building their companies. And that's the next level of trigger. Then, so the first action that I'm expecting of you is clicking on the ad. The second action is reading, of course, stuff on the landing page. And the third is filling up the form so that you get the link to download the PDF. So this is kind of a basic idea of how triggers work at every single point, but every trigger leads you to an action. Yeah, like I said, so triggers simply means action, but in case of digital marketing, you can call a nudge or a trigger as an offer. When I say that you're creating a content that converts, that means you're creating an offer. That offer need not always be in terms of give me money and get the product. It could be give me your attention and get the knowledge. The so you it is about the mindset, how you think about content, that matters a lot. And a good offer or a good converting content or a nudge or a trigger is simply content on a mission. And the mission for that content is to make your audience take that action. So if your CTR is low, let's say on the ad, that means your content is not completing its mission. If your conversion rate is low from lead conversion rate, the number of people who are visiting your website to the people who are filling up the form, if it is pretty low, that means your content is not converting. So on an average, the industry standard is 2% of conversion, let's say. But if you use these steps, we have been able to achieve 4 to 6% of conversion rate consistently for every type of niche. So that is the beauty of thinking in terms of triggers and nudges instead of just content. Whether it is a blog, a product, landing page, ad copy, everything is an offer, and a good offer motivates people to take a desired action. That is how you should think of it. And yeah, if you have forgotten, a desired action is purchase, sign up, read, watch, comment, share, like, subscribe, follow, any kind of action that you can actually measure. Okay. And so the next question is, okay, maybe you have understood the idea of what a nudge is, or what an offer is, or what a high converting content is.
Rafresh, I'll just take a feedback. Is that okay? I'll just ask them if they want to repeat.
Yeah.
Guys, are you understanding? Is there anything that you want to repeat? Are there any questions regarding to this particular slide you can ask regarding to nudges or what is landing page or anything? Everybody is understanding. I think this is pretty basic. That's okay, Achal. That's okay. I knew you would say that. Relax. Achal says that her example is not included.
Okay. What was the example, Anchal?
I'll read it out.
Yeah.
Or probably I'll.
Okay. Especially for Anchal, we will. I'll use it on the go in the presentation.
I can't see it. 1 second. Achal has probably. Yeah, I want to create a landing page content for a portrait photographer.
Okay, portrait photography. That's fine.
Yeah, I watched that.
Yeah, it's kind of the industry that I used to be a part of. Great. Okay, I have written down, Anchal, your point. Thank you for telling me. What's on point B? That is exactly what I'm going to talk about going further. No, it is not a landing page. Your landing page is actually the nudge or the trigger that I'm talking about.
Akash is asking, can you explain nudge again? Nudge.
Yeah, a nudge. A nudge is anything that motivates your user to take action. It could be an ad copy. It could be the landing page. I am just using a very different word for the same thing. Don't worry. I mean, it is nothing new. It is nothing different. It is just the piece of content. But if you call it content, then it is very generic. If you call it a nudge, that means it has a purpose, and the purpose is to push you, or at least to show you a certain direction as an audience to take a certain action. Let's say, like I said, giving you a lead magnet to download, a PDF to download, is a nudge, right? And going forward, I'll also tell you how do you define if it is a good nudge or a bad nudge, which is the 6 questions you need to ask your nudge or your content in order to know if your content can really convert or not. Okay. Okay, Lalita also has the doubt, what is a nudge? My voice has become low. Okay. Harshit, am I audible? Harshit?
I can hear you clearly. I mean, there's no problem with me.
Okay. Okay, great. Okay. Sure, so let's continue. How do you create a powerful nudge? I think even if you have a doubt about what is a nudge, as you go through this presentation, things will become much more clear. And are we recording this, Harshit?
Yeah, we are recording this, and probably I'll just add simple example, guys. A nudge is simply you're asking your audience to take a action, right? If let's say you come on my landing page and I say, hey, just sign up for this webinar. This is also one kind of nudge, right?
Yeah, no. So that's a very good direction to go in. So on a landing page, you say, okay, sign up for my webinar. The sign up for my webinar is a call to action. The nudge is, why should I sign up for your webinar? Like I said, Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk have also used this strategy to build their business. Now that's a nudge. That is like, why should I sign up for a webinar and not for any other webinar? There are thousands of them out there. So that reason behind why should I do it is a nudge.
Okay.
Does
that answer Akash and others probably? All right, I think we can go.
I hope so. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So how do you create it? It is by finding the contrast between point A and point B. Okay. So you are at point A, you want to go at point B, but people will take action only if there is a contrast. Now, I know this doesn't make any sense, but I'll explain it further. And now comes the point where you ask me what is point A and point B. So point A is the painful current situation or the current negative situation that I am in right now. And point B is a better life situation that I want to go in, right? So let's say I'm sick. Generally, my doctor might be just 2 blocks away from my home, but I generally never think of going to that doctor unless I feel sick. So until a situation happens in my life, I don't take an action. That's a rule of human nature. Like no matter what you buy, no matter what you do, घर पे अगर साबन खत्म नहीं होगा तो मैं नया साबन नहीं खरीदूंगा. It's as simple as that. So you have to figure out how badly do I want to avoid my current situation and how badly do I want a better life situation. If the distance between these two are like if the not the distance but the contrast between these 2 points is higher, uh, the the urgency with which I will take an action which will be much higher. If I get a very high temperature, I am sick, I will not wait for 2 more days to go to doctor. I will if I have the phone number of the doctor, I'll just call him and come to the clinic in the middle of the night because I am not feeling well. That is how high the contrast is. I'm sick. The better life situation I want is I want to feel normal and healthy again so that I can live my life normally again, right? So that until you don't find that contrast, nothing is going to work, right? So you have to, in anything, let's say in yoga, right? Uh, Yash wants to create yoga landing pages for yoga. So until most of the people who get introduced to yoga generally come through a point where they have a lot of back pain, they have some kind of issue, and now they want to figure out a better lifestyle for themselves, and then they start adopting yoga. So that situation makes your trigger powerful. Your trigger does not make the situation powerful. Remember, पहले कस्टमर के लाइफ में कोई इवेंट होता है and then they take an action. It never happens that they take an action without any reason. If you're not able to find that current situation, and okay, there are some examples where the current situation need not always be negative, but it is a situation where they don't want to be and there is a better situation where they want to be. If there is a contrast and if the contrast is high, your action will be much faster. You can sell things at premium, right? Anything that you are selling, you can sell at a better price. People will talk about you. There are a lot of this is one simple concept. If you really put it inside your head, you will start coming up with ideas at the top of your head. This is like, let's say I am giving you an algorithm to become creative in a way that gives you money. You can be creative, you can be witty, you can be funny in your content, but none of that is going to convert. You can also go viral. I have had content pieces go viral like crazy, but it has not converted. And I'm not really that's a totally different game of creating viral content. But right now our focus is how can I convert my customer, and that is the point we are going to focus on. So like I said, the greater the contrast, the easier it is to convert your audience. Point A is how much I don't like the current situation. Point B is how badly do I want a better life situation. And then you focus all your efforts in finding the contrast of situations to create a powerful offer. Okay, I'll just check out some comments. People have. Yes, I'll explain. But contrast is at the user's side, not my hands. Exactly, that's the whole point. You cannot control. Uh, you cannot control what the users are going to do. So it's better to be where the users are. So when I said you can be at the place where the users are at the time where they are, that is what I meant. That if you understand the situation they are in, then you are going to be you will easily start coming up with content ideas that talk about the issues that they are facing. And that is why keyword research or Google is so powerful, because uh, I get the content which I'm looking for in my situation, whatever the situation that I am in. If I have hair fall, I'll just search for remedies for hair fall, and anybody who has done the best job in creating content for that will get ranked. And that's the most simplistic explanation. SEO is a totally different game, but that's not the topic here right now. Okay, so next is, but the contrast, yeah. Can you explain the concept once again, the contrast one? Yes, I'll explain the idea of contrast as we go forward. I know that this is not a complete explanation. In the next few slides, you will, once you learn how to find the contrast, you will learn what a contrast is. Okay, so that is not very difficult. What you have to do is spend 80%, like I'll talk about that later, but if you find the contrast, 80% of your job is done. If you know that मेरे पास patient आएगा only when he's sick, and that is the most obvious answer, but let's say when I said about yoga, people will generally search for your content only when you have spondylitis, let's say, which is a back problem, and to get rid of it, most of the people look for yoga. So can you create 5 yogasans, a video with 5 yogasans for spondylitis, which you do for 10 minutes every day, and you get better over a period of 3 months, let's say. Now that kind of content will rank very quickly, and it will also convert very quickly. उसके बाद let's say corporate events के case में, how the contrast happens from point A to point B, where they are at a place. Now these guys are mostly going to be middle management. Event managed corporate events का manage करने का काम काफी middle management को मिलता है, and the middle management already has their plates full. They don't want to get into things that they are not used to and they are not familiar with. They don't know how to arrange events. They want somebody to do it. There are a lot of headaches involved, like finding permissions and finding the venue and managing the catering and everything else. The better life situation is they just want to enjoy the event. They don't want to get involved in the management of event. So if your content kind of caters to that pain points and talks about giving them that better situation, it is easier. That is where you find the contrast, and that is how you create the content. We will talk about that as well, how to create it. How to find the contrast of situations. Now, are there any questions, comments? None yet. Okay. So if you are going to learn anything from this webinar, just learn how to find the situations. And to do that, you will be using the situation triangle, which I have developed again over the period of a few years. And this is like a foolproof method to find the current situation. Even if you don't find the better life situation, if you find the current situation, you have won half of the game. Because if I am sick, I automatically know that I don't want to get sick. I want to get better. So knowing the current situation is more important than knowing the better life situation. Alnur, yes, you have a question. You can ask.
So far, is it clear, guys? Alnur, you have a question? I think he just raised hand. You can go ahead.
He's just trying out how Zoom works.
Yeah.
Okay. Harshit, you tell me from your side, is this clear? Is this making sense? Is there a gap in understanding which I need to fill up?
No, I think this seems pretty much in sequence. So I'd probably ask everyone, just I need a yes or whatever it is. Are you guys getting the concept? Because this is very, very important to understand the psychological part. This is not a normal stuff, guys. I think, yeah, everybody's pretty much getting it.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, because this has been built after spending crores and crores of ad money and working with multiple niches. So I just want to make sure that the basics are clear with you guys. So if there is one thing you will learn, or if you should take back, it is learning how to use the situation triangle and how to find the situations by using situation triangle. Okay. Before we do that, okay, let's cover some basics, because you will look at how situations are formed, but you will have no idea what to do with it. So I'll first tell you, if you find the situations, what should you do with it? Okay, and to do that you need to understand how people take any action. Okay, so I'll explain this concept. I think you have gone through it, but now is the complete picture in front of you. First, a negative situation happens, or just a situation happens. A situation could be I got married, and for hospitality, I guess you were talking about hotels, right? And I would consider, let's say, for example, it's a tourist destination where your hotel is. So if I'm getting married, and that's a situation that happens, and then if you have a package for honeymoon, then that's kind of a match with the kind of situation is relevant to me as a user. Okay, uh, you trigger them to take action through a piece of content that leads them to a better life situation. Okay, and they perform the action and achieve the expected outcome, whatever the outcome that you get, to get rid of the negative situation, and that leads you to the better life situation. So this is how any action happens. No amount of content is going to convert if the situation does not align with your content. Okay, so let's say we are right now working on a brand of selling essential oils, and in that every kind of essential oil generally has a very unique use case. Let's say tea tree oil is a certain oil which is useful for acne and pimple, right? So instead of saying buy tea tree oil, which is pretty amazing, pure and all that stuff, we can talk about how tea tree oil reduces acne or pimple for you, which is like until, so when people will, the journey of any user is going to start from a problem. They are not going to search directly for tea tree oil. They are going to start with the problem that they have, which is, oh, I have an acne, is there a remedy for acne, right? So that's a negative situation, and then there is a neutral situation, like, or a positive situation like marriage and honeymoon ka package, stuff like that. So when people take action, they always take action in this sequence. Yeah, Sushil, untold pain of the customer. You are right. So these situations are the pain that your customers will never be able to talk about. It's like when Henry Ford said that if I ask my customers what they want, they would have said faster horses, because they never knew the concept of a car, right? So like Sushil said, it is always about a pain that your customers, they just cannot talk about it because they don't know how to talk about it, right? So uh, that is, if you keep this sequence of 5 steps in mind, you can create any piece of content that really works. Okay. uh, yeah, and of course the cycle keeps repeating. For example, you get a better life situation, but when was the last time you stayed happy after getting happy? There is a new problem that comes in your life, and then as a marketer there is a new opportunity to sell, uh, or help them. By sell, like I said, don't sell something just because you know their psychological state. And that is why I'm very afraid to share these concepts with people, because people might think that, oh, now I know that this person is depressed after getting divorced, let me sell something that this person will buy immediately, something like 10 things you need to know about uh, finding a new partner after divorce, let's say. So just be a little responsible, guys, when you create content. Okay. Aditya, according to last example, most content creators might take the same action. How can it be different? You don't have to be different. Uh, there is another problem with marketing and marketers is they are too obsessed with being different. You just want to be at the right place at the right time. जो बाहर दुकान पे जो किराना वाला बंदा है, he is not trying to be different. He's just trying to make it convenient for people to buy everything in the same place. And that is what is going to see. And again, this webinar is about converting. It's not about being different. Being different is a totally different thing. It lies in your positioning. It lies in where you come from as a person. And I'll briefly talk about being different later in the slide. There is a dedicated slide for this about being different. Okay. Yes, being available and convenient to the prospect, Amol, or it's just being there at the right place at the right time. So the shop we had started selling underwear banyan when I was a child, and we were not getting a lot of sales. So what I did was I hung the underwear and banyan in front of the shop to show people that it is available here, and all of a sudden our sales increased. It is as simple as that. Be there for the customers, in front of the customers, when they want it, where they want it, right? So you have to kind of not overthink this. It has to be very simple. I'm also going to talk about overthinking in content creation. But yeah, this, if you understand this flow and keep this flow in your mind, it becomes very easy to create content where you don't need to worry about being creative. You just need to worry about being effective. Okay. Yeah, so before we learn about the situation triangle, let's see the 6 steps that you will go through to create the content. This is a step-by-step process. You just follow it, and I guarantee you, you will keep getting results every single time. Okay. So the first step is decide who your audience is. Like, who are you creating this piece of content for? Is it for diabetic patients? Let's say yoga ki case maybe there are a lot of audiences that you can create. People with back pain, diabetic patients, people with obesity, etc. Corporate events may. Uh, you have industry-wise segmentation like IT companies, manufacturing companies, catering services. I'm not sure catering services may exactly, are you providing tiffins, home delivery, or are you giving catering for events? So whatever it is, even within that, if you say events, there are wedding kind of events, and then there are corporate events. So understand that even if you are producing the same food, your audience is different and what they need is different. The situations they're going through is different. So your offer is going to be different for both, right? Identifying a specific niche, that is also right. The reason I'm not using the jargons that we use in marketing is because a lot of these words have already created an idea in your mind. And if anything, any word that I use that from marketing that again triggers an idea inside your mind, you will block yourself and you will not listen. You will just assume what I am saying, but you will not really understand what I am saying. So that is why I'm avoiding using jargons or words that people use generally in marketing, right? Then you decide what is a better life situation that they are trying to achieve, right? The better life situation could be, as a diabetic patient, I want to feel healthy. As a event management company who is hiring a catering service, I want to I want really good food so that people discuss about my event management company and give me more referrals, blah, blah, blah. I mean, whatever the situation is, people should be happy with the food, etc. You have to figure out what that is. And then what is the problem, obstacle, difficulty, frustration, etc., they are facing in order to get that better life situation. I am not very fit physically. I need to go to gym, but laziness is one of the problem. Uh, the gym is pretty far away from me. That's a problem. It is raining outside. I don't want to go in the rain. There's so many problems that could come. These are the situations, and every situation is unique, and there is a potential to create a solution for every situation. Automobile blogging, yes, I will give you. So what kind of automobile blogging we need? It's bikes, cars, what exactly? Because both these audiences are different. Car wale, ठीक है. So it's mostly renting and buying cars, I guess. Car wale. I'm not sure what car wale is, but is that what is it right? What I'm saying? Okay, I'll assume that it is about buying and selling cars. Now there are two sets of audiences for you. People are going to buy the cars, people are going to sell the cars. Okay, it just shows the information for cars present in India. Decide this. If I make a software for students, I know they need help. Yes, second point. Yeah, no, I'll talk about that, Daman, as well. I'll first talk about Vineet. It shows all the info about cars present in India. Yeah, so you have to understand
Yeah,
what are the reasons.
Prathamesh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to interrupt, but there's something a square kind of box is coming. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's a chat box. It's a chat box from
Chat,
Zoom.
chat.
But I think,
Can you
yeah,
kind of slide it to right? Or
हाँ
probably.
कर दिया मैंने कर दिया है.
I thought मेरे screen में problem है. Okay.
नहीं. So
Everybody can see this. Okay.
ठीक है.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. So see, the reasons why people car could be very different. Somebody wants to buy it for the family. Somebody wants to buy it to show their status, right? Uh, that is the situation. That is like, why are they trying to buy? Somebody is trying to buy to commute to office every day. So everybody has very different priorities. So you have to figure out what these are, and then come up with topics instead of say like, of course. I mean, there is the way you can create topics are also multiple. Unfortunately, I mean, this is such a huge topic. I'm not sure how to like put it inside a small webinar. But what we can do is we can keep discussing. You can send me an email. I can give you answers to that, which is a much easier way. Right? But doesn't my product decide this? If I make software for students, I know they need help. That's what you are. That's another big problem, that you can use this entire framework to decide what product should you create, but unfortunately as marketers we always come across products that are already created, right? Your product may decide what it wants, but the customer decide if it wants the product or it does not want the product, right? So in order to make it easy for your customers to decide this, all you have to do is make sure that it aligns with their situations, current situations. There is a black square, okay, sorted. Black box, ठीक है. It is a chat box, guys. Zoom का chat box. That's why it is coming. I'm just looking once in a while to answer your questions. So I'll not be getting back at chat box again because there are a few more slides that need to be explained. I'll go through the chat box at the end. Okay. Then you create, decide what content pieces you should be creating to cater to each of these situations. It could be ad copy, landing page, blog, blah, blah. And inside each content piece, what is the action you want them to take? It could be as simple as read it, or it could be as much as purchase something. So you have to decide what action is, and you have to design the entire content for that single action. If any piece of content has more than one action, consider that your conversion rate is going to fall drastically, by more than 50%. Okay. And what is the outcome that is expected after I perform the action? So if after I read the blog, am I going to get the knowledge that I did not get before? For example, the action that you performed is by joining this webinar. Okay. The outcome you expected is to know something that you did not know before. I hope that you are getting that outcome. From some comments, I can see that you are, which I'm glad. So you have to kind of be very clear of the outcome that your customers are going to get after they perform the action. If I'm going to buy, if I'm going to read that automobile blog, and it is going to help me decide exactly the car I should be buying, which is specifically good for my needs, then the outcome is achieved. Then that person is going to recommend you to 10 other people, because that is where he decided or she decided which car to buy. Okay. And then you start creating, and when you create, you just have to first create your first ugly draft. I mean, I'm being very specific about first ugly draft, and I'll talk more about this later. But your content is only as good as the contrast in the situation. So again, I'm going back to finding the contrast. So when you're finding the contrast, like I said, you have to spend 80% of your time in finding the situations, the current situations that people are going through. And once you do that, that is your gold mine. That is where you start making a lot of money. If you're selling traditional Indian jewelry, or if you're selling jewelry may be बहुत सारे types है. functions के लिए, wedding के लिए jewelry अलग आती है, office wear के लिए jewelry अलग आती है. The situation that I am in creates the requirement for a certain piece of jewelry, right? Vegetable. Now, in case of vegetable, you already know that every day if I get fresh vegetable, that's a great deal. So within that, I'll talk about the situation triangle, which will make it much more clear. Yeah, so I'll just try to give a different angle to explain what the current situation means. The current situation simply means the context. Context, matlab, you have already heard that content is the king, right? Data is the queen. But understand that context is the kingdom. Nobody cares about a king and a queen if they don't have a kingdom. And nobody cares about the content and data if it does not have a context. And by context, I mean exactly that. If your content or product does not align with my current situation, why should I purchase this right now? Why should I take this action right now in my situation? Then none of your content and data matters, and it is not going to help you convert. So context is what, so in other words, if you are learning something in this webinar, what you are learning is how to create context with your customers. You can ask me questions around context. It's a huge thing. If you look at the quotes of a lot of marketing experts, which are like legends in the field of marketing, who still live, some don't live today, everybody talks about context, and this is what they mean. If you break it down, what context means, it means, is your current situation relevant to your product? Is your customer's current situation relevant to what your content or product is offering? Okay. Yeah, I have written it, of course. So being relevant to when they need it and where they need it is context. Okay. So let's understand the formula on how to decode situation in your customer's life. So any situation that happens in your customer's life happens through these three things: your customer, the time, and the place. When you combine these three things, or if you combine customer plus time and customer plus place, a situation happens, and that situation is the situation around which you need to start creating your content. And in other words, it is the who, the when, and where. If you combine these things, you can start coming up with a list of different situations. So one of my friends is doing a gardening startup, and she's specifically focusing on the home gardening niche. And within that, if you come up with your customer, time, and place, you will realize that there are 8 types of time. So if you combine your customer plus time, it means the time of the year. In the time of the year, every season has a different time for different seeds in gardening. Your customer's time and place. Some people have only a balcony, some people have terrace, some people have an entire land available for gardening. So the situations change, and that's why the kind of seeds you can grow in your home changes, and that is why the kind of packages you create for selling your seeds, it will help you understand that, okay, I have a balcony in my home, but I don't get sunlight. So there are specific seeds which grow in shadow and they don't like sunlight. So you only focus on those plants, right? And then there is a combination of time, place, and your customer. But your customer is always the constant. That means I am at home in the evening feeling lonely. And then all of a sudden you get triggered to look at your Facebook or Instagram feed because I'm at home alone feeling lonely. That's a perfect situation too. And that is why when you look at ads or anything, you will generally get a lot of traffic between 7 to 10, because that is the time when people are by themselves at home alone, and they get time to go through the feed, right? I'll take some examples. When I said there are 8 types of time, these are the time. The first is the phase of life. So phase of life में you can say yoga के case में, if I am pretty old, there are specific yoga that will keep me feeling energetic. If it's midlife and obesity is probably a major concern for people in midlife, then there are yogasans which are helpful for that age. If you are an academic services company, then probably your phase of life, which is your child, adolescent, teenager, and all. Those phases will be much more relevant to you to figure out, okay, what are the situations people go through or kids go through when they are child and when they are an adolescent, etc. Then there is time of year, which is, let's say, academic services again. Semesters is one way to look at time of year. Seasons, monsoon, summer, winter. For example, raincoats have a lot of demand in monsoon, sweaters have demand in winters, right? So time of the year matters. That's how a situation is created. I'm feeling cold, I need sweater. It's as simple as that. Now this is very, like, this is common sense. If you understand your niche, you will say ye kya baat kar raha hai. But as a marketer, every single day you will stumble upon a new niche that you don't understand. And the best way to kind of speed up your learning curve is to use this framework and try to create a bunch of situations that help you understand what exactly are these customers going through. And then you start creating stories around them, but which is a very different thing. Like, एक बार once you understand the situations, your brain is very powerful. It will start coming up with ideas, and then you can start working on your content. Okay. Then time of the month. Time of the month could be, so for women it is periods. That is time of the month. That one thing that could be specifically used. But then there is month end and first day of the month. Grocery ke liye month end, first day of the month kind of works really well. There are a few companies who are giving salaried people loans for, in case you don't get a salary earlier, you can have a loan from us, and then you can repay it after you get a salary, because some people don't get salaries on time. So for these guys, month end is a great time to start marketing aggressively, because that's when your money starts getting over and you might need money. That's when your conversion can be much higher. So time, again. Time of the week, weekdays. Weekdays के case में, if let's say I'll take yoga हो गया है, so let's say portrait photographer. A lot of people want to get photography done, but they have time on weekends to come to the studio or go out on the location to get the photos clicked. So if your offer clearly states that we do portrait photography for you on weekends, you don't need to spend extra time or take time out of your work or personal time to get this done. It is much more convenient. That's how you create your offer, by understanding the time of the week. We'll do it on Saturdays and Sundays, etc. Time of the day. So for catering, let's say you are providing tiffin for offices, then lunch tiffin services are pretty relevant for afternoon, right? Or I'm talking about another example later in the slide, so I won't talk about it here. Occasions, Diwali, summer holidays, festivals. So for t-shirts, it is pretty relevant. Occasions, you can create different kind of t-shirts for different kind of occasions. Now for t-shirt, it is huge. I mean, it depends on the kind of niche you're choosing, but if you're going to sell t-shirts, you better choose a very, very narrow niche, because it's a very competitive marketplace and the margins are also pretty thin. So you have to be very specific about who you are focusing on. Then life events. Life events are like marriage, getting pregnant, becoming a father, mother. At every stage of this life, every stage of their life, there are situations happening, there are problems they are facing, and then you have a solution. You sell the solution to them, which aligns with the problem. And then there are day-to-day events, which is your tire is punctured. Okay, this is when your tire is punctured, only then you need a garage, otherwise you don't, right? If there's an accident, that's when you need a hospital, emergency hospital. You're hungry, that's when you need food. You're sleepy, you're emotional, etc., etc. So for mobile repair, my mobile something gets damaged in my mobile, that's only when I need mobile repair. So it's like an event. So within that, there are multiple events that could happen for mobile repair. My screen is mera screen kharab ho gaya hai, my battery is dead, etc. Right? And place. So the potential number of places that you can combine with your customer are infinite, but there are two categories: offline spaces and online spaces. Offline abhi baat nahi karenge zyada, theek hai? Online mein there are people hanging out on Facebook, people hanging out on search, in forums. let's say I want to target marketers who are and sell them a course on copywriting, let's say. So I'll mostly go to Warrior Forum. I'll go to a lot of Facebook groups where people are already there, and start researching basically what exactly are the situations that they are facing on these places. Some people will say, how should I create a video? Some will say, I'm not, my landing page is not converting very well. So then can there be a landing page audit or a tear down service and an offer, in which I simply look at your existing landing page, I give you recommendations for optimizing it, and that's the service. You do the execution, you do the optimization, everything else. Or there is your customer plus time and place, which is I'm at home alone in the evening, feeling bored or lonely. Pretty good time for social media, guys. I'm at office during lunch break, feeling hungry. Good for the restaurants which are outside. If you see outside every major office, there are restaurants. And all of this is natural, guys. Anything that you find out there in the world, which is like a pattern, that means it works. If you see that outside every single office, there are restaurants and thelas for food, that means people are buying it, and that's a pattern, and that's how it is. There is a certain, and you'll see that there is a lot of crowd in the afternoon at these places. It's literally common sense. I'm in the car while going home to office, bored and stuck in traffic. Pretty good situation for podcast and radio to grab their attention. So you have to understand how to combine it, and all of this changes from niche to niche. Okay, I can see a lot of comments are coming in. I will check it out at the end, I promise. Okay, now, yeah, once you understood customer plus time, customer place, and customer plus time plus place. Any combination, there is no rule to it and there is no sequence to it. Any combination that you could find which comes up with, which helps you find the situations, create a list of those situations. Okay, and during those situations, create a list of what is the outcome I want. Let's say when a situation happens, which is I have back pain. Okay, and the outcome I want is I want to be able to sit and stand for a longer time, more comfortably, feel stronger, focus on my work rather than pain, right? Annual general meetings have a smoothly organized AGM events so we can focus on business at hand. That is the situation. Now I am not going into the details of okay, what are the issues with arranging AGMs. Let's say a new for the hardware guy, Mohammed. So if a new plumbing project is beginning, there are certain set of tools or certain set of materials that people might need, and they might need it on time and at a good price. So while you are creating, since I assume that you're doing this online, and I also assume that it might look like an e-commerce site, the filters that you create to discover products can be based on what are the situations in which I need certain tools. So there might be plumbing tools, bar bending tools, masonry tools, painting tools, electrical tools, right? So with every new kind of situation that happens, I need certain set of tools. And within the tools, there are again more details. Like I want to fix a leakage, or I want to change the tap. There are so many different possibilities. Where can you find situations and outcomes? Okay, so this is another question that I get a lot. Okay, but how do I find these? You simply go to Amazon. If you're selling an e-commerce product, start reading the customer reviews and start seeing what are the outcomes they are looking for. When people write, always remember, they generally don't write about the situation they are facing. They write about the outcome they are trying to achieve. For example, if it is a diabetic patient and they want a sugar-free substitute, what they are looking for is a good taste, so that I don't miss sugar, because sugar is very addicting. People like sugar, and it is very difficult to replace sugar with some other sweetener. So what people are constantly looking for is some kind of sugar which I can use, which does not have calories, but I also do not miss sugar, right? So that is the outcome people are looking for. But there are a lot of other situations that diabetic patients are facing, which is um, their insulin is very volatile, insulin levels, or um, everybody in the house is eating sweet stuff and I'm not able to eat, so I'm going to just steal something, right? So there are a lot of different uh, places where you can start finding situations. Another is discussion in the forums. Every single niche has some kind of a forum or a place to discuss. Go in there and start reading the comments. I'm sure you generally do, but now you have a method, or now you have a framework which will help you only focus on things that matter, right? All you have to look at is a situation and an outcome. Is there a situation or an outcome that any of these guys are talking about? If they are, just note it down, and that's a new situation that you have found. Then there is one-on-one interviews. Now with one-on-one interviews, there is a problem that what question should I be asking? So if you think from the situation perspective, what you should be asking is, uh, let's say, which one have I not talked about? Academic services, mobile accessories, real estate. Let's say real estate, Aditya, Suri. Um, so if you talk about customers who have already bought properties, I think we have talked and you said that you're actually into contracting, but I still don't remember exactly. I'm sorry. But I'll assume that it is about buying and selling property just for the sake of explaining this. It is good idea to go and talk with your customers and ask them questions like, not on why did you buy the property, but ask what were you doing before you bought the property? What are the other properties did you search for? What did you like in this property and not the other properties? When did you first think about buying a property? What was happening during that time? What was happening in your life during that time? Was it because you made a big sale in your business? Did you sell your business? You wanted to use that money? Uh, right? Or did you retire and now you want a home, or you just got a job, or you just got an appraisal at your job? Now you have good enough salary to afford an EMI for the property, and that is why you are buying. So there are so many situations that happen in people's life when this thought of buying a property comes in their mind, and that is how those once you know this framework, you will know what questions you should be asking, right, to your users. The other is observing your users. Observing your users at a store, go offline in the store and see what people are doing, what are they looking at on the package, what are they reading, right? Go through the session recordings. I know it seems like a lot of work, but let me tell you, if you do this for 2, 3, 4 different niches, you start understanding human psychology. And after a certain point, you won't need to do this a lot. You will automatically understand what people need and start working on it. And the last is role playing, or actually doing what they are doing. So one of my friends, we were selling courses for competitive exams, and he was one of my colleagues, and we actually got him to start inquiring as a student with all these competitive exam coaching classes. And we also attended the class as a student to understand what is happening, what are they teaching, what are other students looking for, etc. And that is the level of dedication. If you have in understanding your customers, uh, selling will be a piece of cake, right? Okay, now I'm assuming that you have a few situations identified. That means your step number 1, 2, and 3 are done. Okay, you have found out the situations, you have found out the outcomes and better life situation, whatever it is. Now it is time to decide कि कौन से situation के लिए क्या blog post बनाना चाहिए. So you guys might have already एक काम करता हूँ, before going forward, I'll just check out a few questions. I just want to make sure I'm not going too ahead of myself. You might see a black box. Please ignore it. It's a chat box.
I think Lalita had a question.
Yeah. So what I'll go is I'll just go through the chat box immediately and see.
Yeah.
Anshul is saying, so by time and place, you mean both time when the audience is most vulnerable to be struck with our content and the time of year in the context of product and niche, and the same regarding the place. Both. Yeah, kind of, you are right. With every niche, the type of time changes. Sometimes it could be time of the year, sometimes it could be a phase of life. It doesn't matter. Anything that works for you, use it. And don't overthink this. जो काम करता है and चालू करो. मतलब you don't have to wait for 10 different situations. If you find just one situation, immediately create a piece of blog, immediately post it. Look at, analyze the feedback, and then optimize it. Okay, I'll talk about that later. I have a few slides regarding that. How to know the updates of new models, products that are coming and going to be available that are related to your YouTube channel. I'm not sure what you mean by this. Do you have a context for this, Harshit? How to know the updates of
Yeah,
new
even
models?
I didn't get the question.
How do you know the updates of new models, products that are coming and going to be available?
Probably
Lalita,
Lalita,
you
you
might
can
want to
unmute
go.
yourself.
Yeah.
Would you like to unmute yourself, Lalita? I'll probably allow.
Ancient
Yes.
heroes, Sushil says. I'm not sure what it means.
Probably we'll take it at the end. You can take other questions.
Okay. Again, Sushil says like Shivaji Maharaj. I'm a big fan, but I don't know which point exactly you found it relevant to. Lalita, you didn't give answer to my question. Yeah, can you just make it more specific, Lalita, the question? I'm not checking the chat for a while, so sorry for missing out. Where my customers are, why important, how to know where they are. Yeah, like I said in one of the previous slides. Oh shit, I'm going again. Yeah, this is where you find your customers. Customer reviews, discussions in the forum, one-on-one interviews, etc. Yeah, buyer persona is fine. I mean, again, I did not use the word buyer persona because it again has a very specific meaning. I have seen that generally people don't use buyer. They just create it and then forget about it when you start executing. So it's okay. I mean, you don't need to get into creating the buyer persona. Okay, your t-shirt niche is ancient heroes of gods like Shivaji Maharaj, Buddha, Shiva, Ram, Krishna. Very nice. I think this is good. It should get pretty good traction.
I think we can move forward.
Yeah.
We continue, guys, and at the end, you guys can unmute yourself, and then we can do a Q&A.
Yeah. So then decide your content pieces and topic. Your topic will, of course, be based on your research with situations and outcomes that you have done. Like if I am a marathon runner, I want Snickers, and I specifically want, and I'll talk about that later, but let's say Snickers for marathon runners. Somebody is selling Snickers, I guess, sports Snickers, right? If it is a finance blog, it is best stocks to invest during COVID-19. So understand, abhi ka situation, lockdown ka situation, there is a lot of confusion going on. People are not sure if they should invest in the market or not. And by finance, I'm just assuming that it is stocks, stock investments. So a blog around that is much more relevant to me, and your CTR will be much higher for a blog topic like this than just talking about the best stocks to invest in 2020, because much more important is the best stock to invest during COVID-19, which is much more relevant to the problems or the anxieties that I am having right now about investing. Then let's say you're creating a landing page on the ultimate guide to repair Samsung phones, or product page on, I'll talk about why did I say specifically Samsung phones later on. Product page, if you're creating, let's say you're creating a product page on sugar-free powder. So whatever it is, you decide what you are trying to, what topic you are trying to choose, okay? Then let's talk about the desired actions. Once you decide, okay, I want to create any one of these content types, and for this topic, sometimes you might want people to buy from a blog post. That is the action that you are expecting, right? So you need to design your entire content from that perspective. So you need to decide what action you want them to do. Or do you want them to sign up for a newsletter from a blog? Or do you want them to share the blog? But whatever it is, just keep it one and make it the most important action that you want them to take. Okay. So yeah, like click give details, call, blog is read, sign up newsletter, blah, blah. You have understood that. The next step is, before you start creating content, be very, very sure what is the outcome that your customers are going to expect from you. Okay. So from the sneaker ad, I might want the most durable and comfortable sneakers that I can wear and run for 40 kilometers. With very comfortable soles, don't hurt, my ankle should be stay good, stuff like that. You know what are the problems a marathon runner has, and then you be very specific around that when positioning your product. When you're talking about the features, talk about the features that are relevant to the situation. Okay. Blog, the outcome I get is daily investment tips. Landing page, let's say repair any Samsung phone in minutes, get sweetness of sugar with 0 calories, get real estate analysis Google Sheet. So get a Google Sheet in which you can put in all the data about that real estate, like square feet, per square feet ka kya price hai, area kaun sa hai, etc. And then it will automatically calculate how good the property investment is. Something like that. And this is very top of my mind. Okay. Or discover techniques, let's say academic services. You create a video on how to discover techniques that will help you learn very fast. Okay. So the outcome could be anything. So for example, the outcome for this webinar is, like I already established in the beginning, is for you to understand the psychology of your audience. If by going through this webinar, you finally start understanding, or you finally get some tools to understand your customer psychology, I have achieved the outcome that I was trying to deliver. Okay. And then start creating the content. And let's talk about actually creating the content. Like I said, if you give me 1 hour to write content, I'll take the first 45 minutes in understanding the audience. And that's why I have spent so much time in helping you figure out how to understand the audience. Because घर पे जब मम्मी पापा के साथ अपन बात करते हैं, we exactly know हमारे कौन से बात पे वो क्या reaction देने वाले हैं, because we understand them really well. And that is why understanding them is so important. घर पे, if you can talk with your mom, dad, then you can talk with your customers as long as you understand them. It is as simple as that. There is nothing fancy about it. Okay. The first notes. Now, all of these tips are just notes from me. Okay. You won't, most of these notes, you might read it. Most of you, 90% of you might forget it. Okay. But when you come back after practicing in the industry for 2, 3, 4 years, and when you come back, you will start seeing how important and powerful and necessary these few notes or tips are. Okay. So the first is, anything that you do, it cannot replace the authenticity and the honesty that you have. Okay. If you have a genuine intention of helping your customers, they will return the favor. People have a very strong bullshit detector. They can easily detect what is bullshit and what is valuable. Okay, so if you use everything that you learn, all the techniques, all the hacks, all the tactics, but you are not genuine, honest, and authentic, you will not get any conversion. I can sign it on a paper and give it to you. Okay, so be very, very aware about what you're doing. And when Aditya asked me, what is unique about your product? Nothing is unique if you just write it based on that situation. This honesty, authenticity, and the willingness to help people genuinely, that is what will bring out the uniqueness. Okay. So there is no replacement for this. Okay. There is no replacement. You do anything in the world, you build the best algorithm in the world to create, hack the psychology of people. But if there is no authenticity, people will not react to it. I can guarantee you that. Okay. The next is, when you are writing or creating anything, don't judge your first draft. It is going to be ugly. In fact, make it ugly. Okay, make an ugly first draft so that there is no chance that anybody else, that you have a fear of feeling bad that ये कितना खराब content है. जो असली magic होता है, the real magic, it happens when you are optimizing. So you have to trust the process. So, and the process is this: you first create your draft, then you analyze the draft by using the 6 questions that I'm going to give you. Then you optimize it. Okay, by optimize, I mean just make improvements to your headline, to your images, to your body text, to your call to action buttons, anything, or the layout and the design. And then repeat the process. Keep repeating the process, and finally you will reach a point where your content keeps converting. The landing page that you see on my website, katha.com, that landing page took around 2 years to develop. To optimize actually. The first draft was really ugly, but once we started optimizing more and more, now the conversion rate of the landing page is really good. It is so good that we have stopped taking clients. Okay. And more importantly, I got exactly the kind of clients I want. And I was able to kind of filter out the clients that I don't want, because the first step in the process, which is decide who you're creating the content for. That was the key in my mind. I wanted to create content for founders specifically of companies who have a say or an idea or a vision. Most of the people just want to sell, but they don't have a vision, and they're good at selling, which is fine. But for me as an agency, for Katha, we don't want to work with such people. And so that is what I kept in mind, and I analyzed and I optimized, kept optimizing the landing page. And that is what you have to do. Your real magic will start happening when you start optimizing. Yeah. So another question that generally comes is, inside the content, what exactly should I be talking about? Should I talk about the situation, the outcome, the actions, or the features of the product? And how should I talk about? So for every niche, different things work really well. Let's say you are a travel and tourism company or a hospitality company. The outcome, talking about the outcome matters a lot. Like, you are going to have a cottage with 4 rooms, a swimming pool, massage, and all that stuff. It's the outcome that I'm looking for, and that matters. In yoga, let's say the situations matter. I have neck pain, back pain, obesity, diabetics, etc. So that is what works for yoga as a niche. For hardware product, the product features matter a lot. What is this? Is it stainless steel? Is it brass, for example, the material? And I don't know a lot about hardware, but you get the idea. Academic services, again, situations become very relevant in academic services. And by that, I mean, right now, mostly classes and education stuff. So let's say you joined NSDM for digital marketing. And the reason you joined it is because there might be a few reasons. You wanted to switch your job. You want to grow your business digitally online, because COVID की वजह से offline में बहुत गड़बड़ हो गया है. or you have always liked marketing, you want a job, but people might not give a job until you have a formal education, for example, and that is why you're looking for a certification. That is why, so you are facing a certain situation that is triggering you to apply for an SDM. So academic services में situations work, catering में outcome works. Catering में why outcome works, because the first thing people are going to ask is the menu card. आप क्या बनाते हो, उसका taste कैसा है, blah blah. So it's the outcome that people are looking for. So for every niche, different things work. So you have to identify कि आपकी niche के लिए क्या work होगा. Any content that you create will have any one of these three objectives. Okay, there is no content in the world which is created for converting that has any objective other than these three. First is engagement. It is like, comment, share, read, subscribe, etc. Any engagement related objective or event that happens. The second is acquisition, which means you get the details of your customers, their name, their email ID, their phone number, their address, whatever data that you capture from your customers is called as acquisition. That is the other purpose of creating content. And the third is revenue. You want people to subscribe. Subscription करना होगा दूध वाला, या फिर vegetable के लिए I want to do subscription, right? Or purchase. So you create content for any three of these objectives. For engagement, you will see a lot of organic posts, blog posts. For acquisition, you will see landing pages work a lot. For revenues, sales page and product pages work a lot, right? So even the content types are different for each of these objectives. And when you create something, don't have more than one objective. You cannot have engagement plus revenue as an objective. If you have that, it's not going to work. Simple. So focus on just one objective when you create a piece of content. The next is stick to one idea per content piece, right? If you're talking about plumbing equipment, don't talk about electrical equipment in the same piece of content. If you're talking about fixing a leakage, don't talk about unblocking the drainage. Okay? Or if you're talking about back pain, don't talk about knee pain. Create a different video for that. Okay? So it is important that you create content pieces and stick to single idea per content piece. Keep it simple and don't overthink. I can already see in the questions people are asking a lot of things where there are exceptions. लेकिन अगर ऐसा होगा तो क्या होगा? If there is anything that is creating a block, just ignore it. Okay? Only use the stuff that you have really understood from this webinar. Don't try to push yourself too hard, because I can guarantee you this, eventually you will come across the things that I'm talking about today if you practice. Even if I were to not teach you this, you will still find these things, because these are fundamental principles. Okay, so if while you're creating content, if it is feeling like hard work, if you're feeling that there is a creative block, then you are doing it wrong. That means you have still not understood your audience. You need to do your work, and or you have still not understood the situations that your audience is going through. If it doesn't flow, don't do it. Move on to the content that flows easily. Create content that flows very smoothly. Don't create content that is feeling like hard work, because if you are not enjoying, people will not enjoy consuming it. Okay? Use the easiest path. I mean, I'm not sure if somebody is going to give this advice, or it might be very counterintuitive, but with content creation, always go for the easiest path, because that is always the correct one. If creating a content is becoming very difficult for you, don't create that content. It is not going to work. So don't waste your time. Keep it away, have rest, maze karo, focus more on understanding the audience. Okay? And then automatically your brain, you don't even have to do any work. Your brain will come up with ideas automatically. Okay. Another thing, I have tried to avoid using a lot of fancy words in this webinar myself, and that is one of the goals in everything I do. Don't use fancy words. Use words that people understand. If you can't explain something simply, that means you have not understood it. Okay. And the second is use specific words, not generic words. So Saying residential plot is better than saying land, property or land. Saying yoga for black pain is better than yoga for health. Daily lunch delivery is better than catering services. ठीक है, या फिर corporate catering services is fine, or try to be specific and then write. And this will literally boost your conversion rate to a lot of extent. Don't keep it generic. Okay. Now, whenever you're creating any kind of offer on a sales page or a product page, okay, use this structure. It's a famous structure. You can Google about it. It's called as a FAB structure, FAB. Okay. Features, advantages, and benefits. What are the features of your product? Okay. What is the advantage of those features? And what are the benefits of getting those advantages? You are selling a hammer, let's say, and the features of the product is the metal is very strong. It's some grade of steel. I don't know what it should be, but whatever it is good. And the advantage is that you can hit a nail. The handle is pretty strong, and the handle will not get क्या बोलते हैं उसको, खराब नहीं होगा, because it is a metallic handle, for example. I'm going very random, guys. It's totally on top of my head, so don't judge. And what are the benefits of those advantages? You don't have to buy another hammer for the next 5 years, probably, because this is durable. Okay. You will find the answers to all these questions based on your situations and outcomes. Okay. So I think you should go through this recording again to get an idea on what really works. I mean, for you, for your niche. Okay. Like I said, I knew this just comes a lot. Don't worry about your unique selling point. Okay. If your content is not relevant to your customer situation, nothing else will work. Get clean and hygienic vegetables delivered to your home. Abhi COVID ke situation mein, it is more relevant than home delivery of vegetables. Okay. So focus on what matters to your customers in their situation. Okay. And once you do that, see, first you have to grab their attention. Once you do that, then you can talk about what is unique about you. And then the customer decides whatever that is unique about you, if I care about it or if I don't care about it. So generally, it is a good idea to not get really attached to how good you are. Okay. You should get really attached to how can I help my customers in the situation that they are in. And any customer, that's all they care about. Okay. So once you are done, okay, you have to start. You have your first ugly draft. Now you have to start analyzing the content and optimize it based on your analysis. So this is the process. You create your first draft, to analyze it based on the 6 questions I'm going to show you. You optimize it, okay, and then you repeat the process. You continuously do it until you are satisfied, until you are at a point you are getting the kind of customers you want. Okay. Now that you have your first draft, these are the 6 key questions. Okay, pay attention here. To analyze how powerful your nudge is or how powerful your offer is. The first is, whenever I'm reading this, is there a very clear understanding who this piece of content is for? Okay. If there is a very clear understanding, then that is the point where I will first give a consideration to pay attention to your content. The second is, what is your product and offer? Is it very clear? And this is, I'm talking about what is your product and offer only for product pages and offer pages. Sometimes in a blog, you may not want to talk about a product, which is fine. Okay. What is the action, or does it have a clear call to action? Even if it is a blog, does it have a very clear call to action? Which is sign up for a newsletter, buy a product, anything. You have to look inside the content and decide, does it have a very clear call to action? Why is it relevant to me right now as a customer? Okay. I won't read about natural remedies for cough until I have cough. Okay. It's the same thing with anything that you're doing. why should I focus on it? Like I said in the finance, if you just write 10 tips or 10 stocks you should invest in 2020, मैं बोलूँगा भाई इधर पैसे की मारामारी चल रही है क्या इन्वेस्ट करने को बोल रहा है. But if I say 10 best stocks to invest in COVID situation or something like that, I may or may not have money, but I will be definitely curious to check it out. Okay. So that relevance should be, why is it relevant right now to me? It should be apparent. Now, a lot of these answers may be directly answered or indirectly answered, but they should get answered. Okay. Expected outcome. What outcome shall I expect if I take this action? Okay. Okay. I click on your blog. What should I expect as an outcome? Am I going to really learn about these 10 blogs? I hope so. You don't, it's not a clickbait. Okay. Or if I buy this sugar-free product, I will not miss sugar and I will start enjoying the sweet food without worrying about the calories or the sugar level in my blood. Okay. So what outcome shall I expect if I take this action? What is the positive consequence of achieving this outcome and the negative consequence of not achieving this outcome? A lot of times, the consequences are not explicit. They are assumed by the customers in their head, but they will assume those consequences only if the ऊपर के 5 questions are answered. Okay? Sometimes you have to talk about it explicitly, sometimes you don't. Okay? The consequence part by itself is a little bit broad, but if you have questions, I'll be able to answer them and make it more relevant to you. Another thing, again, talking about why is it relevant right now? So this entire through this entire webinar, I have been more concerned with talking to you about your content for your niche. And if I don't do that, you will generally get really bored. But at least I might have increased the engagement by 20% because I'm talking about stuff that might be slightly relevant to you, and that makes this relevant a little bit more engaging. Okay. So if your content answers these questions directly or indirectly, okay, then your content is in a good place to launch. Don't wait for your content to be perfect. Launch it. Nothing stays or nothing kind of survives the battlefield. Okay. And no matter how much you try to make it perfect, until you start getting data and see customer reaction and start see session recordings, you won't be able to understand what is going on. So don't wait to make it perfect. Launch it and then figure it out. One of the examples that I personally like is this post that I had posted in an entrepreneurship group, okay, which kind of answered all the 6 questions. And before posting, I knew that this post is going to get a lot of engagement because I saw this exact post in another forum. And because this, by the way, ignore the 4 questions, it is actually 6 questions. That is a typo mistake. So when I analyzed this, because this post passed my 6 question test, I tried to test it by myself, and it literally got 411 comments in the group, Facebook group. Okay, I'll go through this post, I'll read it, and I'll tell you how it passes. So it says, drop your landing page link and let others describe what your company does. Does your landing page describe your project clearly? Go visit someone else's landing page for 10 seconds and tell them what their company and project does. Drop a link to your landing page, but don't say anything about it. Some of these explanations might help you with your positioning. Okay? So first of all, who is it for? Anybody. So this is for a group where there are a lot of software companies. Okay. So in this, it is for founders or marketers who are looking to sell some kind of a product. Okay. The second is what exactly is expected out of them. Okay. So or better is what are they going to oh wait, this what is about the product. I'm sorry, I got distracted.
So the what is not relevant here because I'm not selling a product here. Okay, so let's go to a clear CTA. Is there a clear call to action? Yes, the call to action is drop the link of a landing page. And the second is comment on other people's landing page. Why right now? Because I have just posted it. And if you don't post it, the earlier you post, the more other people are going to see your landing page. The later you post, the more you miss out on other people looking at your landing page. So as soon as I posted, within at least 2-3 years, I started getting more than 50-60 comments because it creates a trigger. Okay, what is the expected outcome? I get a feedback. Okay, what is the positive consequence of that outcome? I can improve the positioning of my product based on the feedback that other marketers are giving for my landing page. Okay, and what is the negative consequence? I'll miss out on this opportunity. That's the negative consequence. FOMO is a real fear that people have, fear of missing out. Okay, this is again one of the movies that I raised 5 lakh rupees for. Okay, in 45 days and entirely organically. You should Google for One Last Question, the name of the movie, and write Wishberry and watch this video on the landing page. You will see a trailer first, and after that, you will see a pitch for people. Okay, now you look at the pitch later on, but I'll explain you what happened here and why I was able to raise the money organically within 45 days. And back in 2014, that as well. Okay, so who did I focus on? So this movie was shot in Assam, so I only focused on people in Northeast India, and especially people who are out of India, but they are from Northeast India. Okay, because they are the ones who are going to connect with the story of this film. What exactly are they going to look? What are they looking at? It's a movie. It's a movie where it's a story of 4 friends and a father. Okay, what is a call to action? The call to action is for them to give money in return of nothing, by the way. Everybody contributed money in return, not expecting anything in return. They just gave it. Okay, why right now? Because there are only 45 days left, and you will see the pitch video. You will get the idea of why right now. Expected outcome. Okay, by the way, don't look at it right now. Pay attention here first and then go. Expected outcome: if we raise the money, we will be able to complete the movie, send it to festivals across the world. Okay, that was the expected outcome. The positive consequence: if I uh, become a part of, everybody wanted to be a part of this movie because of the cause behind this movie and the community that was built around this. So again, the negative consequence of mostly missing out on being part of this project, and positive consequence was being a part of this community and supporting this project. Okay, so I want you to go and check out these two things. I think this is SaaS Growth Hacks is the Facebook group where this post is, and this is just Google for One Last Question, Wishberry. You will find the video. Okay, a few end notes. Okay, content takes practice. I've been practicing this for 10 years and I'm still not close to mastering it. It is a process. You have to keep doing it. After a few tries, yeah, about these questions, once you start, initially it will be the process. Once you try it for a few niche and a few projects, it will become automatic in your mind and it will become like an algorithm. Anytime you think of a niche, the first thing you will think of, oh, what are the situations people are going through, and the chain reaction will start and you will start coming up with strategies. Okay, so yeah, it is difficult to squeeze 10 years of learning in. This was not even 60 minutes, it was more than that, but I hope it was not boring. Yeah, so if there is one thing you need to take back and remember, it is remember to find the contrast. If you don't find the contrast, your content is not going to work. Okay, that's it. Thank you.